to the entire World Teacher YouTube channel. I am Shafi. Dear speaker and listeners, today we presenting an interesting and amazing story. One bedroom flat, which may bring positive changes in your life and behavior. So don't miss a single line. The stories is very short and interesting and amazing to enjoy. Read by screen or listen by voice. One bedroom flat. As the dream of most parents, I had acquired a MBBS degree and passed PLAB to enter UK, the land of braves and opportunity. When I arrived in the UK, it was as if a dream had come true. Here, at last I was in the place where I wanted to be. I decided I would be staying in this country for about 5 years, maximum permit-free period, in which time I would have earned enough money to settle down in Pakistan. My father was a government employee, and after his retirement, the only asset he could acquire was a decent one-bedroom flat. I wanted to do something more than him. I started feeling homesick and lonely as the time passed. I used to call home and speak to my parents every week using cheap international phone cards. 2 years passed, 2 years of burgers at McDonald's and chicken legs in KFC and discos, and 2 years watching the foreign exchange rate, getting happy whenever the rupee value went down. Finally I decided to get married. Told my parents that I have only 10 days of holidays and everything must be done within these 10 days. I got my ticket booked, and the cheapest flight was Pia, as I was actually enjoying shopping for gifts for all my relatives and friends back home to Pakistan. If I miss anyone, then there will be talks. After reaching home, I spent home 1 week going through all the photographs of girls, and as the time was getting shorter, I was forced to select one candidate. In-laws told me, to my surprise, that I would have to get married in 2 to 3 days, as I will not get any more holidays soon and they cannot wait for long. After the marriage, it was time to return to UK, after giving some money to my parents and telling the neighbors to look after them. I was lucky and managed to get the visa of my wife early. Returned to UK. My wife enjoyed this country for about 2 months, and then she started feeling lonely. The frequency of calling Pakistan increased to twice in a week, sometimes 3 times a week, as she also has to call her parents. Our savings started diminishing. After 2 more years we started to have kids. 2 lovely kids, a boy and a girl, were gifted to us by the Almighty. Every time I spoke to my parents, they asked me to come to Pakistan so that they can see their grandchildren. Every year I decide to go to Pakistan. But part work, part monetary conditions prevented it. Years went by and visiting Pakistan was a distant dream. Then suddenly one day I got a message that my parents were seriously sick. I tried, but I couldn't get any holidays and was stuck up in the procedures and thus could not go to Pakistan. The next message I got was my parents were passed away, and as there was no one to do the last rites, the society members had done whatever they could. I was depressed. My parents passed away without seeing their grandchildren. After couple more years passed away, much to my children's dislike, by now nearly caucus, and my wife's joy, we returned to Pakistan to settle down. I started to look for a suitable property, but to my dismay my savings were short and the property prices had gone up during all these years. I had to return to the UK. My wife refused to come back with me and my children refused to stay in Pakistan. My 2 children and I returned to UK after promising my wife I would be back for good after 2 years. Time passed by, my daughter decided to get married to a Saudi's Arab. And my son was happy living in Ireland. I decided that enough is enough and wound up everything and returned to Pakistan. I had just enough money to buy a decent 2-bedroom flat in a well-developed locality. Now I am 60 years old, and the only time I go out of the flat is for the routine visit to the nearby place of prayer masjid. My faithful wife has also left me and gone to the holy places. Sometimes I wondered, was it worth all this? My father, even after staying in Pakistan, had a house to his name, and I too have the same, nothing more. I lost my parents and children for just 1 extra bedroom. Looking out from the window I see a lot of children dancing. This damned cable TV has spoiled our new generation, and these children are losing their values and culture because of it. I get occasional cards from my children asking I am all right. Well, at least they remember me. Now perhaps after I die it will be the neighbors again who will be performing my last rites. Allah Almighty bless them. Goodbye, but the question still remains, was all this worth it? I am still searching for an answer.